The leaders of Armenia, Azerbaijan and Russia issued their fourth joint statement since the end of the 2020 Karabakh war. Lengthy talks on Monday in the Russian city of Sochi saw Nikol Pashinyan, Ilham Aliyev and Vladimir Putin reaffirm their commitment to previously reached agreements and stress the need for a final peace treaty. In the October 31st trilateral statement, the parties agreed to refrain from the use of force or the threat of its use, and to solve all problematic issues exclusively on the basis of the mutual recognition of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and the inviolability of borders. The statement went on, stating that importance is underlined to the active preparation of a peace treaty on the basis of existing developments, and to continue the search for mutually acceptable solutions. Moreover, that Russia will provide all possible assistance to this. Monday's statement also noted the key contribution of the Russian peacekeeping contingent to ensuring security in its deployment zone, but otherwise did not mention Karabakh in any way. Days before, Pashinyan said he was ready to sign a document in Sochi that would extend the Russian peacekeepers' mandate by 10, 15 or 20 years, while acknowledging that it is not up to him to decide that the Russian peacekeepers will stay there for a certain period of time. Monday's statement did not extend the peacekeepers' mandate, which is currently set to expire in 2025. Putin called Monday's summit a very useful meeting that created a good atmosphere for possible future agreements on some fundamental issues, but also conceded that it was not possible to agree upon everything, and that some things had to be removed from the text previously worked out at the specialist level. Prior to his freeway talks with Pashinyan and Aliyev, Putin met separately with each leader. At their one-on-one meeting, Aliyev told Putin that the Karabakh conflict is already history and that it was solved 2 years ago, and that in this context, there is practically nothing to discuss. In sharp contrast, Pashinyan stressed to Putin that on the topic of Nagorno-Karabakh, the approaches proposed by the Russian draft of basic principles and parameters for establishing interstate relations between Armenia and Azerbaijan are acceptable for the Armenian side. Karabakh President Arayik Harutyunyan said over the weekend that his administration also supports Russia's mediation efforts, writing on Facebook that the Russian proposals mostly meet the minimum standards that ensure Karabakh's security and do not call into question its future. Those comments came in response to remarks last week by Putin, who claimed that an apparent Washington-backed peace plan provides for the recognition of Azerbaijan's sovereignty over Karabakh as a whole. US State Department spokesperson Ned Price hit back at a press conference the next day, accusing Russia of spreading misinformation and disinformation when it comes to the US's intentions regarding Armenia and Azerbaijan. Monday's summit was Pashinyan and Aliyev's second meeting since Azerbaijan's unprecedented attack on Armenia last month. Earlier this month, Pashinyan and Aliyev met in Prague for talks mediated by European leaders. Following those talks, Yerevan and Baku released a joint statement committing to recognizing each other's territorial integrity and endorsing the temporary deployment of an EU civilian monitoring mission to the Armenian side of the border with Azerbaijan. Pashinyan and Aliyev's last three-way meeting with Putin took place just under a year ago, also in Sochi. Monday's summit suggests Moscow is trying to reassert its role in mediating between Yerevan and Baku after months of appearing preoccupied by its full-scale war against Ukraine. Russia has repeatedly accused outside powers of attempting to meddle in the South Caucasus and oust Russia, the region's traditional security guarantor, accusations that Washington has consistently dismissed. On the eve of the summit, about 40,000 Karabakh residents held one of the largest rallies in the region's history, while lawmakers in Stepanakert unanimously adopted a statement rejecting any deal that would see Azerbaijan take control of Karabakh. In Yerevan, Russia's ambassador to Armenia, Sergei Kopytkin, stated that the issue of the status of Nagorno-Karabakh should be left to future generations, when conditions are formed for an acceptable and fair solution to this issue. Meanwhile, in a CivilNet interview, Armenia's ambassador-at-large, Edmond Marukyan, stated that the Armenian side was satisfied with the meeting, and that the text was pretty neutral. Marukyan added that negotiations mediated by Moscow or by Western countries do not have to contradict each other, and can work in tandem. Moreover, Marukyan stated that a peace treaty could be achieved by the end of the year, but that Azerbaijan is not in agreement, whilst the Armenian side is fronting 2 or 3 solutions for every hurdle.